We have with us here today Rana Daggubati. Welcome, Rana.
Thank you.
Who's going to talk to us about the relief materials given to us in the whole initiative by the Telugu film industry called Mana Madras Kosam. Have I got that right?
Yes.
So Rana, tell us, how did this whole thing, how was it organized?
See, first it was actually a group of, so obviously we've heard about this, I wasn't in the country, I was actually in Dubai. So I've been hearing about constant rains. I spoke to my aunt and other family members. We didn't understand the seriousness of it. I'm from here, I grew up here and stuff. So speaking to them, I mean, they also didn't understand the seriousness, neither did we sitting away. And then post that evening, which is when I started seeing images and
on social media?
On social media, I mean, that came the fastest to us.
Yeah.
And then I was planning to come back to Hyderabad the day after, but I came a day earlier. And there was one team that was trying to put these things together, because obviously we knew that there is an issue, but we still didn't know how to get things across. And there were no phones, there was very few people I could be in touch with, and social media acted like that.
Was a galvanizing
factor for whatever happens here. And then
it was amazing, you got together very short time. How did you do that? I mean, it's not an easy thing, such a big support, a unanimous support from the industry.
One is, as a film industry, obviously the Telugu films have been here, we've been here for 60 years. We call this home. It's only since last 20-25 years is when we were in Hyderabad. Then we were in Hyderabad. So this is always home for us. This is the first home. This is everything in that sense. And which is why it was very easy to unite everybody, because most of the actors, all the film directors, all the production houses, all hail from here. And for everybody, you saw your home sinking, you saw family members in trouble. So I mean, that's the first thing that we could get. I mean, this is the first time we've seen a big city being affected in such a large scale.
Unimaginable.
So, there were the Bombay rains in 2005, there was the Hudud 2 years ago. These were disasters that came. I mean, it was a disaster that hit, and then we understood what to do right after. But this was like an ongoing disaster. It was, I mean, somewhere in our minds also we don't know how to address this.
Yes, it was emerging before the eyes.
So it was not stopping. It went on for days, 2 days, 3 days. Now there were sources of more rains coming, then the lakes filling up, then the dams opening. So I mean, it was, the disaster was ongoing, and then when the standard and an easy way to do this is announce a flood relief kind of money, and which would fix the disaster. But we realized there's something else even before that, which is obviously there was no drinking water, there were no supplies, there was no medicine, there was nothing really.
No, actually, even the rescue work.
So finally, what we kept doing was there was an individual actually, somebody called Trilok, who hails from Chennai, lives in Hyderabad now. He went with his own truck, tried to distribute things amongst whichever town he got to first and things like that. He took that route from Nellore, which was the easiest route to get in. And so with his help, that's how it started. So Navdeep is a friend of Navdeep, another actor. So Navdeep brought him along, and then so quickly by the next, I knew we had to send a lot of supply. Now when we just kept stocking up, but we still didn't have access roads inside.
But even getting the supply together, that's
the first roads we got them very,
very. You didn't just do 1 or 2 trucks, you've done lots of them.
It's our 11th or 12th truck that's coming in today. The first one came, third evening, the second one came.
So how did you get that together? I mean,
one is obviously there are a lot of people like me. There are, like when I announced it online, when I just used social media again for all of this. Now I knew there were a lot of people out there to help, but they just didn't have a method or communication form. And the one thing that we realized is the others who came to me now, whether it's a courier service. What does a courier service do? He will take your stuff, put it in his go down, fill up the truck, and then move. Now that was too late. So there was, I got help from everywhere. The biggest help was a truck company called BNPS that started first. Then Maha Cement, a cement company, which is also owned by a friend of mine. Now they gave me trucks at their disposal, and they were very, very kind of them. Now we were on call. It's like I was just 10-12 hours behind. So we, at least by the end of day 1, we managed to connect to about 6 or 7 teams. Now we're actors, we connect quickly to actors, and that's the only way we have. So there was Siddharth, RJ Balaji, that whole team together. In Chennai, right here. There was Dhanush and all of them doing something else. There was Vishal and that team doing something else. And through them we started getting connected to different NGOs. I got somebody called Grishma and the others in North Chennai. And
you also organized some sort of in a mall. You did. You all came together.
I don't know. I mean, at least that.
Tried to raise funds.
We tried to raise funds. We tried to. I mean, one is it was important to get the awareness out.
Yeah, the public involvement.
Yeah, which was a huge thing. I think the first the weekend was huge. I mean, probably 2 or 3 trucks or 4 trucks maybe are filled up with stuff that people gave me. And now we met a lot of families, Tamil families sitting living in Hyderabad.
Okay.
You know, for them this is first home, and Hyderabad still a second home. Now they wanted to help. They knew the
So
all
you've
of
got
them.
a lot of individual
I
contributions
mean, it's a
as well as
it's a lot of
corporate.
individual contributions that came at a very early stage.
So I don't think you would have got much sleep. You would have.
No,
as
no,
soon
we
as
were
you landed here. You were working.
we were pretty up. We were up. I mean, every day till 2 or 3 in the morning, and then we used to
That's
wake up back at
amazing.
7. So I mean, it's Navdeep who is there fully with me. All the other actors who, whether it's Lakshmi, Nani, Bunny, all of them. I mean, Naresh, everybody lent their support in whichever way they could. I think that's the only reason this could happen. One is a lot of actors, actresses who've donated a lot of money. That's one, and everyone has to help, which is when we get back. And I think somewhere there was an understanding of what it can do, a natural disaster can do to a big city. I think that's something that
It's almost like a film, no? Like a disaster
yeah,
film.
it's
No power, no.
no power. I mean,
No,
and
no
the
food.
images started getting scarier. And when you see localities that you know, that you grew up in, you knew how it looked, and then suddenly you see it emerge.
Yes.
So which is, and then social media kind of changed the face. I mean, it was used probably for the best use ever.
Did you use any particular Facebook page you made for this, or you just tweeted
we used to had a website called Manu Madras Kursam, which people used to write to. So I knew the NGOs. Then I used to quickly ask somebody else to verify them, because
Yes.
now at a
That was
time like
another-
this, you know, you send. See, because what are supplies I'm sending 200 tons of food, and whatever. That's my single supply. Now, when it comes here, if there are only 2 people to distribute them, it's never going to be done.
Correct.
So we used to make sure on all my trucks, I used to have about 2 or 3 volunteers on that truck.
Okay.
Now we used to make sure it's organized in a format, or at least the team here has the capability
To
to organize.
distribute the things.
No, see,
To
there were
store them and to distribute them.
store and distribute. Now a lot of times I was getting images saying we need 100 food packets. Now that's something, those things we couldn't address. So we needed to make sure there was someone here addressing those with the supplies we sent. So I mean, that's pretty much how
So
we
now, but you
operate.
pretty much know how to handle any sort of disaster.
No, I
You've
don't
got
think
a-
any of us will ever know how to handle disaster, because everything is different.
No, help at the first.
Yeah,
First help.
I mean, first help, because when I was in Dubai, I quickly called someone. I said, "Listen, is there someone there?" He said, "Yeah, this team, there's an NGO." I said, "They need some money. Can you send it quickly?" And Navdeep called. He said, "Listen, Nana," they said they don't want money, but they want oxygen cylinders, ropes, and floating devices.
Yes,
Which is when I realized that money is not going to do anything in this point.
it's vital things
Yeah,
like
and
anything to do with
ATMs didn't
medicine.
work,
Yes.
and they were obviously flooded. I mean, that's when we mobilized things from Bangalore. There were friends in Tirupati who, Manoj and the Manchu family, they had stuff in Tirupati. I mean, as much as we could send from everywhere, because Tirupati and Bangalore are faster than Hyderabad. Just that we could, whatever we could mobilize, we put them on, sent it.
And your counterparts here in the film industry, they were always in touch with you.
They were. We used to speak at least 20, 30 times a day. And every time we used to get a signal, I started picking up every call I got, because I didn't know where Siddharth was calling from, I didn't know what number they were calling from. So that was constantly there. And yeah, I guess we did what the max that we could do.
So what now? I mean, Madras. The word Madras must be evoking a lot of memories for you, because you've lived a
See,
lot,
I
many
lived
years of
when
your
it was
life.
called
here,
Madras, I
so-
left when it was called Madras. And so did many of us in Hyderabad. At least the film pretended. So there's that old classic saying, Chennai is still a city, but Madras is an emotion. So I think that kind of brought all of us together to do this.
And now, what emotions does it evoke when we say Madras, and now post the whole
Well,
flood and disaster you
I
hear today?
was happy because I actually came here 3 days ago, and I'm happy to see the change in the 3 days in the city itself. I mean, things are moving. It's at least the city fully is up and functioning. I mean, obviously there's a lot of damage to property, to all of that other things.
Yes, emotionally also.
Yeah,
people
everyone's
feel a lot
but
more.
it's great that they've gotten back on their feet and they're moving, because only if this city is back is when the surroundings will actually get back together.
Yes.
I mean, there have been towns that have been submerged, and
Yeah.
it's only when this city can support that. I mean, there's also only little bit we can do sitting in Hyderabad.
So you've been here, you've been on the job.
Yeah,
you
we've
came
been-
last
yeah,
week.
yeah, we've been on
You've
the
been
job, but-
overseeing. Have you been to many of the flooded
I
areas?
have been to most, but more than that, I was actually coming here to meet all of them at one go.
Okay.
See, because to get my next round of supplies ready, we spoke to doctors' camps, we spoke to kitchens, so at least to understand. Now I know that there was no more basic supply needed. It's not water anymore.
It kept changing.
Yeah, it kept changing by the hour. Now, the good thing is Chennai is back.
And also interior, Cuddalore and other areas also you've been sending?
Yes, Cuddalore actually, when Siddharth was there is when the trucks, so I was always making sure that there was somebody I know there.
Okay.
So because the first thing that somebody told me was, one of these team members, they said, listen sir, there are trucks that are coming in, we don't know where they're going. Because everyone actually, obviously it's an intent of sending things. They wanted to send as much as they could, but if it doesn't reach the right hands, it just disappears.
Yeah.
I mean, because also everyone's in need, but just seeing to it that it's organized and sent was the most important thing.
So thank you for talking to us.
Thank you very much.